Alright guys, today I'll be showing you how to install this easy plug-and-play remote start system on a Toyota Tundra from years 2010 to 2017. This enables you to use the original remote key fob, and all you have to do is just press the lock button 3 times in order to start your engine. So here are the tools that you will need for this job: a 10mm socket and ratchet, screwdriver set, thin electrical wire fishing cable, and an optional trim piece removal tool. The kit also comes with trim piece removal tool as well. Here's a picture of the wire harness all laid out, showing which connector is what. First, start off by turning on the vehicle so that you can turn the steering wheel and remove the Phillips head screw on either side of the steering wheel that's holding this plastic cover in place. Turn the steering wheel again and remove the remaining screw. We'll get back to this part later. Great, now you can turn off the vehicle and start by removing the door sill trim piece by just simply pulling up on one side and working your way down. I found some surprises as well while working on this one. I don't know how these shells ended up here, but anyways, let's keep going. So in order to remove the next plastic cover, use a Phillips head screwdriver and remove this plastic bolt piece. Then gently pull the piece straight out like this. Next, you want to remove this 10mm bolt that holds the lower knee panel in place. And there's also one more on the right side. Alright, with that out, now you can gently pull down the knee panel using the trim tool, or you can use your hands. Work your way from one side to the other until all the clips are out, and then just let this piece lightly dangle on from the wires. So under the knee panel there is the OBD2 connector that needs to be removed. So start off by unclipping both sides using a flathead screwdriver until it pops out. Then use the provided wire harness as shown here. Run the wire down to the footwell and connect the vehicle's OBD2 connector to this wire harness, and then push the provided male end of the harness back into the OBD2 holder. Now let's move to the left side of the steering column near the door side. You will see a bunch of connectors. However, you will only need to remove these 2 connectors right here. Now all you have to do is the same procedure as before. Take the provided wire harness, which is this one, and connect it to the vehicle's connector, and then plug the provided male end of the harness into the vehicle's computer module. Now do the same for the bottom connector using this provided wire harness. After you are done with this, move to the steering wheel and gently pry up on the top trim piece until unclipped, and then for the bottom trim piece, pull down and out in order to remove it. This ignition connector here is what needs to be removed next, so just push down on the plastic clip and pull out. Take your provided wire harness and do the same as before. Connect the vehicle's wire connector to the provided wire harness and then plug it back in. Run the rest of the remaining wire towards the left side neatly, and then take the provided grounding wire and attach it here by first removing this 10mm bolt and retightening it with the ground wire attached. Try to position the wire like this so it doesn't get caught in with the trim pieces. Finally, the last wire that needs to be connected to the vehicle is the TPMS module, or the tire pressure monitoring system. So you had to fish it all the way down to the passenger side glove box area. Next, you want to pull out this center trim piece. So this is where I'm going to be fishing the wire through. However, if you have an easier way to get the wire to the other side, by all means go for it. Run a small fishing wire like this from one side of the center console to the other. Then use electrical tape to secure the wire harness to the fishing line. Slowly start guiding the wire along while pulling the fishing line on the other side making sure that the connector doesn't get caught up anywhere. Once you got the wire harness to the other side, you can now remove the electrical tape and start working on removing this panel below the passenger side glove box. In order to remove the panel, there are 4 metal clips that need to be pried up on like this while pulling the trim piece down in order to disengage from the clips. Work your way down until each clip is disengaged. Here's another shot on how to disengage the clips for the bottom panel. Now that's out of the way, look underneath and you will see this TPMS connector here, which needs to be removed. To do so, just take a flat screwdriver, press down on the plastic clip and gently pull the connector out. Next, run the provided wire up to the connector, connect the provided wire back into the TPMS module. Alright, so now in order to program the remote start module, first you need to click and hold this black button while plugging in this connector. Keep holding down the button, and as you see it cycling through the different modes, you should be looking for the red and blue lights. Once you see it, immediately let go of the button. Now you can go ahead and plug in the rest of the connectors to the remote start module. After everything is connected, press down on the black button twice until you see the blue and red lights flashing like this. Finally, all you need to do now is turn the key to the on position and you should see the red and blue lights flashing rapidly, which then will switch over to only the blue light that will be flashing. This means that the programming has been successfully completed. Now all you need to do is test the remote start and make sure everything is working fine. I put the remote start module right here using the double-sided tape that was provided. First, start off by organizing and securing the leftover wires using the provided zip ties. So here's how I organize the wires just for reference, but you can do it however you think works for you. Reinstall the passenger side bottom panel like this, then push the panel in place until all the tabs click into place. Next, take the driver's side kick panel and push it into place like this until all the clips have been seated. Take the 10mm bolt and screw it in by hand and then tighten it down with a ratchet until snug. Now do the same for the other bolt. Good, now push in this trim piece and secure it in place with the Phillips head bolt and tighten it down with a screwdriver. Reinstall this foot panel trim piece, making sure all the clips click into place. Finally, push the center console bottom trim into place and use the plastic fasteners to secure it in place like this. And then reinstall the bottom piece of the steering column first and then push both sides in together until seated. Then turn on the vehicle in order to turn the steering wheel and tighten down the remaining 2 screws on either side. And that's it, you're all done. So now when you click the lock button 3 times like this, the engine will start right up. And after about 15 minutes, it will automatically shut down. However, if you want to shut off the engine earlier, all you need to do is click the lock button 3 times again, like this, and it will shut right off. If you found this video helpful, consider liking and subscribing. And as always, the links for the remote starter module that I used, as well as any other tools that I used, will be in the description below.